Welcome aboard, Melanie. All right, everybody, whoever's out here today, welcome to 14 Minutes of Fame. Today we have the wonderful Melanie Bean from Harmony Qiging in Long Jetty, New South Wales, right? Halfway between Newcastle and Sydney, or just above the entrance. Did you say
Yes,
above?
beautiful. Yeah, beautiful long jetty on the border of Taroon Bay. Gorgeous, stunning location.
Yeah, nice. So, yeah, Qigong specialist. I think we were chatting before we sort of came here and get to chat online here. Is I've heard of Qigong. I've been networking for 12 years, and I reckon seven, eight, maybe 8 or so years ago, there was a guy that came out networking, and he had done Qigong. So, for whatever reason, he was over in Asia and China a lot, and just did a lot of things
Yep.
over there. And I'm going to say his early 20s, and then fell into that space of discovering it, doing all of his training over there. Comes back out to Australia, um, and it was a women in business Canberra group, but his mum was one of the board members. And so he used to come out to help, get all us women take our tickets and, send and over here and over here. So he was a bit of an usher. And so as a result, get to chat to Sonny and find out, what do you do? And because I ran business at breakfast, you should come out. More people need to know about that. I'm going, I know what he's talking about. More people need to know about that. But I reckon in the last 8 years, because of Sunny, it's very well known in my world. To my knowledge, it is, because I've known about it for 8 years. But in actual fact, when we're chatting and you're saying you do Qigong, and I'm like, oh, really? You're actually only the third person I've ever met in over 8 years.
We're rare.
I just thought it was like more well known than this. But when I've sat there and thought about it, yeah, you're only actually my third person, which means, and I make it a point of knowing everyone in the world, which means that if either you're really rare or not enough people say it
Yes.
enough.
I don't know how to say it.
No, right? Because I'm looking at it going Qigong, and but it's pronounced Qigong, and I was saying Qigong, and you're correcting me, and I'll just go with it how you say. Who am I to say it?
Qigong the Aussie way. That's what I say. Qigong.
Qigong, yeah. And so tell me a bit about Qigong. What is it?
So Qigong, it's a bit like Chinese yoga, Taoist yoga. It's had so many different names in the past. But it's based on Chinese medicine, which is all about flowing with the meridians. Same as acupuncture and acupressure massage. It's working with the qi energy, the life force energy. So that's what the word qi means, which is like prana, qi, like Reiki. So working with that life force energy that's all around us in the universe, but also flows through the body. And gung means to work with or be actively doing something. So we're working with our vital life force energy, which is amazing to be working with our energy systems because everything is energy.
Okay.
So it's an ancient practice, at least 6,000 years old. They've actually found paintings on caves in China depicting the movements. So
Right.
it goes way back. And yeah, I suppose it's a form of yoga, but I find it a lot easier. And it's a beautiful, nurturing practice, very slow moving. Some people call it a moving meditation. It's very gentle and calming. And it's about being in the flow. So it's a beautiful practice rather than it involves movement. It does involve some meditation as well. And it works on the mind and the body. So it calms the mind, calming down the nervous system. It also works on, soothing our soul. So it's just so nurturing and nourishing. And it's just a
You
beautiful
discovered it. Yeah,
combination.
sorry. I get excited.
I
Sorry.
know, me too.
So I believe you discovered it about 20 years ago, right?
Yes, initially I sort of found out about it and then I tried a little Tai Chi class. So it is similar to Tai Chi, but Tai Chi is the martial arts version. So Qigong is the original. It came first, was practiced by the emperors for their longevity and good health. And then Tai Chi came out of Qigong. So Qigong is the OG, the original.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
so you've discovered about 20 years ago, but it was only in 2016. So we're looking at 8 years ago that you started doing it. So something cropped up
Yes.
and then you started doing it. And then you've only been teaching. So you've been doing it since then, but then you did teacher training and really only started your own practice 2 years ago.
Yeah, about
It's
two and a
been,
half years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing a timeline, right? In regards to this. So what's the age of your clients in general? What's sort of the age of your clients?
Yeah. Generally, I'm in my early 50s, so that's what I find. Generally, from about 40 to about it's probably 70 at my age group that tend to come to my classes, but generally older people do it because it is slow moving and it helps with so many different issues for our body as well, for rheumatoid arthritis and immune system, respiratory system, recovery from illness, recovery from surgery. So people will fall into it, and anyone of any age can actually do it. It just, I suppose, depends what your need is and where you feel
Because
to
it's
heal.
slow, I suppose, from the earlier ages. So here's my point, right? So you discovered it 20 years ago, but didn't sort of fall into it really until you were sort of 40, 50.
It was too
In
slow.
that case, right? Too slow, because the young ones are more into, they could do it, but they're more into fast, active, got to get out there, got to do
Absolutely.
it,
Yeah.
run
Same
around.
as I was.
Yeah, and it's too slow, mentally too slow, body-wise too slow. It feels like it's not doing anything. But as you get older, and then you accumulate all this knowledge and all this stuff and all this busy, we get to a time where we go, you know what? I think I need a little bit of peace and quiet. If only I could,
Absolutely.
particularly as you're heading 50 plus, I always hear that's when, women start having trouble sleeping at night. Now,
Yes.
it could be because of,
Menopause.
yeah, menopausal changes. It could be because you've accumulated too much knowledge and ideas that you can't shut your brain down.
That's right.
That
Yep.
wakes up at two
Overthinking.
o'clock in the morning, and then at some point you're going to have to learn to shut it down at some point so that you can get things done. I know recently, so I live out at Chinchilla in Queensland, and been here, what, 2.5 years? So for 1 year, so going back about a year ago, for a whole year, I was a member of the gym. The idea being, I'd go down there, I'd do my workouts, I'd get back. It's like 1.5 kilometers down the street. So easy, dead flat, just drive down, do
Nice
that.
and close.
And then I couldn't make myself actually get out every day to do it. It seemed like a waste to get in the car and just drive down there. But I didn't have the time to get on a bike and go across, because then my workout would have been done and I would have missed the gym. So, it's like such this thing. So then I didn't get to the gym for the year. And then, so I've spent a year not going to the gym, right? So stop making the payments. And then in my head, I keep going, but I walk the dogs every day. So I've got 2 golden retrievers. So I walk them a minimum twice a day, only because as the weather turns warmer, the bigger one, he just says, I don't do sun.
Too hot. Yeah.
With him.
Well, I've got two dogs too. I get
I
it.
do some, right? So we do a 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning walk. We do a 5 to 6 o'clock walk in the afternoon. But my head is always saying, you should probably stretch a bit or do something else, even if you're not doing something that's like sweaty. So anyhow, I call the main guy down at the gym here at Chinchilla, Booker, and I said, right, so Simon works out at the gym every day. I used to, but I know about the gym, but I won't make me do it. Simon can't make me do it. So you're it. You're in charge. I just want to come down and stretch every day. And Simon says to me, he says, can't you just stretch at home? Apparently, no, I can't. So for the last week, I've gone every single day for the last week. Booker has insisted, in order to earn that stretch, you're going to move your body a bit. You get on the rowing machine or do some weights and do something. I don't care how long you do it for, and then stretch out your body. Now, it's interesting. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I take the dogs for a walk, and usually by 5:30, 6 o'clock, I will have started work, so I get a couple of hours of work done before anyone in the house even wakes up, and I get heaps done, right? But now, get up, take the dogs for a walk, go down to the gym. I'm honestly not down at the gym for an hour, and yet by the time I finish at the gym and I've done my stretch, which is what I was there for, and then I get home and think, well, I've been up for a few hours. I should have something for breakfast. So I'll make myself something proper. I'll have toast with cream cheese and ham and lettuce, and I'll have a cup of tea, and I might sit down and read. And, I feel it's very decadent. And 3 hours have passed. I kid you not, Melanie, a whole three
Wow.
hours. And I'm thinking, you haven't even started the day. It's now 7 o'clock. I have to say, in the last week, I've gotten more done in the last week for spending 3 hours of this decadent time of just walking with the dogs, stretching, having a proper breakfast, doing some reading, and literally getting nothing done and I've worked it out, but it was in chatting to you that I've worked it out. And it's this: I'm no longer thinking about stretching all day.
Yeah.
Like what seems like, oh, it's so slow and it's like it's good for the mind and all that other stuff. But truthfully, I think I was spending 24 hours a day not stretching.
Yes.
Now,
Procrastinating about
that's right.
going to have to do it, whereas
And
you
then
could have
over
just
the
been
course
doing
of,
it.
yeah, 3 hours, first thing in the morning, I now have the rest of the day to not think about it because I've done it already. And over
Yes.
the course of a week, where I've spent 21 decadent hours wandering around in my own personal space, I've spent 47 hours not thinking about not stretching.
I love that. I love that because of the energy, and everything is
Believe it or
energy.
not.
So the thoughts are energy, and that's taking up your energy. So
Yeah,
you've actually used your energy productively.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
can see how, as we get older, why we tend to fall towards things like Qigong later in life is because we've accumulated a lot of
Mm.
busy. And now we're in a space of I can't seem to get anything done because I've created too much busy. I may
Yes.
as well do
Yes.
nothing now. I mean, sometimes I can just sit down and go, I think the best utilization of my space is to sit down and watch a couple of episodes of One Tree Hill. Even one, it's 42 minutes of nothing on
Yes.
purpose.
Yes.
And then my mind is settled because I've literally done nothing
Yes.
but on purpose. So
Yes.
now I can go out and do something else. So I do
It's
like
really
the
that
idea.
taking
Yeah.
that time for that self-care, that nothingness. And in fact, Master Simon Blow, who I've done my training with, his most favorite meditation is on nothingness.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
at the end of a class, which a lot of people call a Qigong class, as a moving meditation because it's slow moving, but also we do a short meditation at the very end. And it just allows us that literally that space in the nothingness, in that calm, quiet peace where we don't have to do anything. There's no thoughts. It's just time to sit there and unwind. And
Nice.
it's just exactly what we all need.
Yeah.
We
100%.
we
So
want
I
to admit
know.
it, or even if we don't want to admit that, we actually need that
Yeah.
because we're too switched on today. Like
Yeah.
everything's going 24/7. So
So
we're
here's an
pulled and
ironic
pushed
thing.
everywhere.
My real nothingness is running sales classes. That's where I just get to do that thing and nothing else. I
Yes,
don't think about anything else, and that's my
beautiful.
nothingness.
Yes,
But the other side of this nothingness that I have that I could just do 24 hours a day, and personally it's not enough time to fit it all in, is the getting the clients to do this nothingness with. Right? Because in work, you always have some spare time where you think, God, I should probably sit down and advertise something, and I should probably tell someone I'm doing this, and maybe I should ask someone about this. And so there's always the other work that's not your actual work that you've got to do it. And but yeah, I've found from spending nothingness when I don't have a coaching client, like at 4 o'clock in the morning, because who's getting up then? So I may as well go walk the dogs and go for a stretch down at the gym. In that side of nothingness, is it then allows me to go, well, I don't know, I've done a bit of health stuff for me, I suppose. So my brain then works on the business side so that I can get to the work business nothingness.
that's right. You've brought that sense of space literally
Yeah,
into your mind, and
yeah,
that helps you then, deal with the rest of your life, whatever's going to happen that day. It gives you
yeah,
that calm, that coming back to home, to your own space,
yeah,
just to
yeah,
tune back in, and then everything else seems to flow so much better. And it is a flowing movement practice, but it's also flowing through the mind. It feeds through to all these other areas, like you said. You're just creating that space for everything just to flow beautifully. So,
All right. So the burning question is, we're up with our 40 minutes, but the 14 minutes, but the burning question is this. You've been doing this Qigong for a long time, right? So, and you're all zen and feel good and you've got that space of nothingness, and then you get to do this with others, but then, you get on with life and everything else. So here's the burning question. Can you touch your toes?
no,
Is your neck straight? Okay,
I'm
no.
not flexible at all.
Okay, great. So that's good. So anyone can do this, right? I can't either.
Absolutely.
I've decided Simon says I've got Tyrannosaurus Rex arms and the shoulder. you know, the average person. So maybe that's why I've never been able to touch my toes. But
Yeah.
hey, it's such a good feeling. That means that even the stretching I do at the gym or if I do any of this is I'm never going to be able to touch my toes, and it's okay because you seem perfectly
Totally
fine by
okay.
that.
Totally okay. You don't
Totally
need to touch
okay.
your toes. You don't need to be flexible. Anyone can do it. It's very easy. It's much easier than traditional yoga. It's just great. I love it.
Nice. Excellent. Well, then that's it. I think you've covered every question that anyone will ever have on Qigong. So thank you so much, Melanie. This has been so much fun.
No, thank
And
you, Misty. And today actually is World Gratitude Day. So I wanted to say a big thank you for my time with you on this interview. It's been fantastic. It's just perfect timing, actually. It's
it
funny
is
how
so,
life works out.
it is funny how life works out. So how perfect is that? Well, thank you, Melanie. It's been great chatting to you today.
Thank you, Misty. Thank you so much.